Call the fucking police right now. I know you saw it. She beat me in the stomach.
Good.
We're gonna contact them.
Thank you.
You need to.
I've always wondered what the real Burger King looks like, and now I finally know. He just looks like a normal crackhead we get here in Florida. Burger King, of course, has their own mascot, but this is the actual real-world king of burgers. Their mascot has his own video games like Sneak King and all that shit, but this is the real genius, the man behind the curtain, the Burger King. And he's out here on a plane ride not having any fun. So he sounds like Gilbert Gottfried with a sinus infection, and he keeps whining about how a lady kneed him in the stomach. And this wasn't like some unprovoked act of violence against him or anything like that. It's not like they had sent an assassin on this plane flight to take out the Burger King. The reason he got kneed in the stomach is because he's a racist asshole, which you'll soon see.
This is my seat.
Can you stand up?
Where is 25A? Where is 25A? Why did she just knee me in the stomach?
Because you deserve it.
Yes, she did.
This is the face of an angry Boy Scout whose chicken fries were cold. I love that he's wearing this Burger King crown. I can't get enough of that shit. I don't even know how the fuck he would have gotten this. Like, maybe he stole it out of a dumpster or something. Like, some child had a birthday party at Burger King. God rest their soul, that'd be miserable. And then they just, like, threw out the crown, and this guy just went through the dumpster to get it. Or maybe he truly earned it, right? Like, maybe they were celebrating. He was the first person that day to finish a Burger King meal without puking, so they gave him this crown as, like, a nice little souvenir, a token of their appreciation.
Because you deserve
Did you
it.
get that on camera?
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Excuse me, I'm part West African.
You deserve
I can
it.
say anytime I want.
For obvious reasons, I'm going to be muting the N-word here. You can start to see why the passengers were pretty upset with this asshole. I have to imagine that this may even be like a McDonald's viral marketing campaign, like the person filming is Ronald McDonald or like the Hamburglar, and they're just like filming it like, holy shit, this is gonna be huge for us.
That's fine. You need me in the stomach. I want to press charges.
Nobody.
Take your shit and get the fuck out of my seat.
I don't know why he keeps saying that he wants to press charges. Like, what the fuck do you want the staff on the plane to do about it? All of a sudden provide you with a lawyer? Like, here, okay, you want to press charges? Tell it to this guy. We'll wait before we take off. I just don't know what he expects to happen. Like, another passenger raises his hand. I am an attorney, and I will represent this lunatic in this case. I only require one Whopper as payment.
Oh, he's gone.
Kick that nigger bitch off the plane.
Sir, please you need to stop. There are children. Please stop. Stop. Hey, that's not necessary.
Take your stuff and get out of my seat, please.
Yeah, so he just keeps screaming and shouting and screaming the N-word, making it sound like a 2009 Call of Duty Xbox Live lobby. Just truly awful, and tons of chaos from this one guy going wild. And Burger King has some of the worst marketing of all time. Like, genuinely, their marketing campaigns are some of the most garbage. Do you remember for National Women's Day when they posted a tweet saying women belong in the kitchen, which was supposed to be outrage bait, where you click their tweet and then you read their next one that says that they're actually offering programs to women? Like, just stupid shit like that. They can't do anything right when it comes to marketing, so I truthfully wouldn't be surprised to learn that this whole thing was supposed to be a marketing stunt from Burger King gone wrong. Maybe it's supposed to end like that Pepsi ad with Kylie Jenner and the Pepsi saving the world. This one ends with this guy taking a bite of a Whopper and it cures racism. He's no longer racist, and everyone on the plane is super happy as Whoppers and chicken fries fall from like the emergency compartments and everyone chows down.
Take care of it,
Thank you.
but I need you to stop yelling.
She kneed me in the stomach. Why are you in my face?
I'm asking you to stop
Have I
yelling.
committed any type of violence since I've been on the plane?
You're
No.
yelling and
So
you're causing
what?
a scene. Yes, sir. That's
She kneed me in the
disrespectful.
stomach.
I don't
No.
care what she did. You're being
Thank you.
disrespectful.
Somebody get
Shut
this
the
on
fuck
camera.
up for 2 seconds.
I want a lawsuit. I want a fucking lawsuit right now, motherfucker. Give me a
He wants a lawsuit, god damn it, and jumping Jehoshaphat, he's gonna get one. He just keeps saying that he wants a lawsuit, as if somehow that's supposed to happen like right now, that because he called for it, a lawsuit has to now be put into motion, a judge has to come out of like the cockpit, and a trial has to go underway because this guy has now declared his intent of filing a lawsuit. I just like that he proclaims that multiple times as if it's some kind of, like, ancient rule that we have to follow. Like back in the day, if you call for a duel, you have to engage in that duel or else your honor is fucked. Him calling for a lawsuit means that right now, a trial is about to break out on the plane. So we get a camera angle change here, and you can see someone really go in there and deliver the fucking meat to him, trying this, like, get him with, like, this flying punch. So someone comes in with a special delivery of a double Whopper with extra cheese on the guy and knocks off his crown before they're separated, and they're trying their best to settle down the situation, waiting for the cops to arrive, which they eventually do, and they arrest the guy.
Yeah! Get out of here!
So yeah, this was a pretty wild Burger King related plane freakout. This is a little over a year old now, I believe. So I'm a little tardy to the party on this one. I didn't even hear about this, which is shocking because this is like a pretty wild freakout. And I've usually got my finger on the pulse of this kind of shit, but this one, it flew under my radar. But yeah, I just wanted to share this one. That's about it. See ya. This actually looks like some shit out of the intro for I Am Legend here. This guy's snarling and showing his teeth like an angry dog ready to strike. It sounds like something out of Call of Duty Zombies. Thank God it wasn't a full moon. This guy was ready to fucking anamorph into a werewolf here. Now, it does say he's having a racist meltdown in the caption of the video, but there's nothing racist present in the video. But according to the passengers on the flight, this all started because he was yelling at an Asian woman, and then all of a sudden, I guess, Umbrella Corporation blasted him with a T-virus and turned him into this, like, fucking zombie thing. This is the face of someone who knows what human flesh tastes like. Like I mentioned last time, I'm terrified of flying, but the more videos I see of people like this and the last guy we saw, that douchebag who got taped to a chair, the more interested I become in flying, just to be able to witness this fun. It just looks like going on a circus in the air. Like, it seems like a genuinely good time. You have, like, these onboard entertainment clowns that kind of go wild. Like, it seems cool. But I feel like that's only because I'm on the outside of it. I feel like if I was on this plane and witnessing this, I would be shitting my goddamn pants. I'd already be nervously hyperventilating into a paper bag, and then all of a sudden, fucking Lex Luthor in the row next to me just starts breaking out, going Super Saiyan, growling and eating his mask while salivating. So I definitely don't think it'd be super fun to be there for it, but I just want to say thank you to the heroes that film it, so that way I get to enjoy it from the safety of the ground.
Now!
You're landing.
Sit down now! You can't hold us!
Okay, we're not.
We're out on the ground, sir.
We're not
Sit!
on the
Yes,
ground.
we are!
Yeah.
We're already grounded! Sit! Is anyone else getting up? Sit!
I love that they're talking to Voldemort here like he's a dog, just telling him to sit. You know, just, hey, be a good boy, go over there and sit and I'll give you a treat, alright? Now go sit. This is where I got a little confused. So he's upset because he thinks he should be allowed off the plane because they're on the ground. But according to the passengers, they're not on the ground. So this guy was just asking to be let off the plane mid-flight. You know, like, hey, let me the fuck out of here, I'm done, alright, I've had enough. He just opens the door and flies out like D.B. Cooper. Like, I don't really understand because it's such an easy thing to prove to himself, like, are we on the ground? Let me look out the window. Because you'd be able to know if you just, like, took a single glance out of the window. Like, there's multiple windows to the side of him even in the video. You could have just been like, we're not on the ground, I'm sorry for the trouble.
God! Sit! You sit down in that seat and you stay there. Don't fight it! Really? Sorry, folks, but that's what they think of America.
I don't know where Joe Biden came into play. Maybe he was the pilot or something. I couldn't really tell you. But then he goes into saying sorry, that's what they think of America. and he says it like he's trying to like learn how to read. It was at this point that I thought this had to be a drug-related incident here, because it really does sound like he's giving a class presentation and he's super nervous. So I looked it up. Apparently there's something called ambient zombies, which is something flight attendants have nicknamed people that take Ambien and get weird. And this, I guess, could be one of those cases. I'm really not sure. But the cops do show up, and it turns out he was just really drunk.
America is not a disgrace. Really? Yeah. Really? Really?
So luckily, Chris Redfield and the boys were able to get on the plane and contain Patient Zero here. Hopefully this will be the only zombie we see taking flight, but who knows? This could just be the first of many dominoes to fall. Though I did think the same thing when that guy from Florida was eating another man's face off. I thought that was the beginning of the zombie outbreak. But luckily I was wrong. So weebs, put away your katanas, because I think this is an isolated case. Just one zombie, and it seems to be taken care of. He was cited for public intoxication. So that'll show him. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. See ya. I'm absolutely terrified of flying. I haven't been on an airplane since 2016. I have a genuine phobia of flying. However, if I was guaranteed a show like you're about to see, blessed with a fucking public meltdown of this caliber every time I'd get on a plane, I would be the first one in line at the TSA to get fingers up my butthole so I can get a great spot on the plane and watch this shit happen. This is glorious. So you're about to see a frat boy lose his mind after going 2 beers deep. He just gets a little sloppy.
Let's go. You guys fucking suck! My parents are worth fucking $2 million goddamn dollars. And you know what? You fucking suck!
Meet Maxwell. I think that name fits him perfectly. It's like straight out of South Park. If they had a douchey character that bragged about their parents' wealth, they just slap on the name Maxwell because it fits. He's just the quintessential failed son who only lives off mommy and daddy's money, just constantly suckling on their teats for the rest of his life, living in their shadow. If I was watching this video muted, I would assume he was bragging about his parents' wealth. The kind of guy that's like, hey, fight me, but if you do, my dad's gonna sue you. And he also works for Bungie, so he'll get banned on Xbox Live too, nerd.
Yeah! Yeah! You know what? My grandpa is worth more than your fucking life. My fucking attorney! Shut the fuck up!
To catch you up to speed on the lore here, Maxwell has ordered 2 drinks. He's gone where no man has gone before. He's 2 brewskis deep in here and he's feeling it. He's fucked up. Also, he apparently had a little bit of an accident. He spilt on his shirt and mommy forgot to put the bib on him, so he had to go to the bathroom to change, came out shirtless, and one of the flight attendants offered to help get a shirt from his carry-on. After Maxwell was helped get into his new dinosaur t-shirt, Maxwell said thank you in the only way he knows how. With sexual assault. He allegedly groped her chest, and not just the one flight attendant, but another one as well. So in Maxwell's fucking caveman brain, he thought honking titties was the optimal way of giving his thanks. So it sounds like Maxwell may be entering the no-fly list, but might have a future at Activision Blizzard.
Hey! No! Chill out!
Ladies and gentlemen.
The conclusion to this video is one of the best I've ever seen. Actually duct taped to the chair. Like a mummy getting fucking mummified and thrown into a sarcophagus. Absolutely spectacular. I couldn't be happier with the way they handled this, to be honest. I don't know if this is by the book, like standard protocol, but if it isn't, it should be. How to handle a reckless, dangerous passenger, just tape them down. That sounds remarkable. So, this is where the video ends, but it's not where the story stops. Here's a bit of the story here, the cliff notes, as well as a beautiful mugshot of Maxwell in all of his glory, with one of the most punchable faces I've seen in quite some time. This isn't some small thing, it's not like he's only going to be banned from this particular airline, which was Frontier in this case. From what I was reading, assaulting flight staff can carry up to 20 years in jail, or like a $250,000 fine, which to Maxwell and his extremely wealthy family might be nothing but pennies in the bucket, you know. Maxwell's an extremely successful leech. I'm sure Daddy and the 5 cars he sold at his dealership can probably get him out of that fine, but 20 years in jail, well, that's nothing to scoff at. This just happened. This is some fresh, stinky news right now, so they're still investigating. All of the involved party members from the flight side of things are being interviewed, as well as getting everyone's statements. So, don't know exactly how this is going to all wrap up in this anime, though I do imagine none of it's going to be a good outcome for Maxwell. This just goes to show you, if you're one of those fucking douchebags who brags about his parents' wealth, you are destined for a life of utter failure. You will end up like Maxwell, 2 beers deep and ruining your life over nothing. I also don't have anything against Maxwell's parents, because if they truly are as wealthy as Maxwell thinks they are, where they could just like own all of Frontier Airlines, they're certainly not sharing any of that wealth with Maxwell. He's flying coach on the cheapest airline in the entire US. I'm pretty sure Frontier has the cheapest tickets available, and he's flying coach there. So if his family truly is that wealthy, they're not helping him out that much, and I respect that. I think that's great. So yeah, pretty wild story. I always love to see a douchebag get taped to a fucking chair in a plane, I guess. That's pretty incredible stuff. It's like that scene out of Casino Royale when James Bond starts getting his nutsack blasted on after he's taped to a chair. So it's great. Fucking wonderful. That's about it. See ya. Like a crazy person right now. And allow me to explain, because I have been engaging in only the purest, most concentrated form of lunacy. Twitter. I have been connecting dots that weren't meant to be connected. I've stumbled upon a web woven in lies, manipulation, and demonology. This is the kind of rabbit hole that will have you condemned to Arkham Asylum, and I'm gonna share it with you now. And it all has to do with that big plane freakout video from about 2 days ago now. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. There was a lady on a plane who got a little rambunctious, so she stormed off saying that the person she was sitting next to wasn't real and it scared her. Ordinarily, like 5 or 6 years ago, this would have been viewed as just like a goofy haha moment from silly lady. But now, in the current climate of our world, people accept even the most outrageous shit as legitimate. So they're using this as evidence that the government is putting fake people on our flights, or that reptilians exist. And apparently now you're asinine if you write off a situation like this as just a drunk lady being rambunctious. I've also been keeping up with this. I'm sure all of you have seen this video already. I'll just in case you haven't here. This was the other day.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the fuck off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the fuck off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give 2 fucks, but I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can fucking die with them or not. I'm not going to. Bye.
So that blew up yesterday, and I have been glued to it ever since. So we live in a really awesome time period of our species where everything is deep. So this isn't just an isolated incident of a crazy lady having an unhinged episode. So I read like a 20k updated post on Twitter about how she's trying to let us know that there's a demonic presence on the plane by doing a 2 up, 2 down hand signal, which I'd never fucking heard of before. I had to look into this absolute lunacy. So I saw people debating on how she's trying to tip the public off that there was some kind of reptilian Satanist or something back there, which is what she's referring to as that motherfucker's not real. And they were being completely, like, genuine. They were being 100% genuine. I have been glued to it. People find symbolism in everything. Actually everything, and it's amazing. This has taken hold in a big way. Everything somehow ties into some kind of big Illuminati, deep state plan, reptilian, hollow earth theory. And I have just been absolutely enamored with it all day. I must have spent like close to an hour just doom scrolling all the people hyper analyzing this frame of her freakout. It's a jutsu. Yeah, the psychosis jutsu. Or maybe she's trapped in a genjutsu, which is why she thought that guy wasn't real. So then where was it? Oh, it's a different video, I think. Is it gonna be here? Well, apparently Carrot Top was on the plane. Don't really care about that, though. Where's the, There's a video posted showing green hoodie guy. Apparently who she was referring to was a guy in a green hoodie. And there's a video that's showing him, and it's like, this is the proof, this guy is actually not real. And then they're coming up with theories on what it is. Because he's just sitting there, like doing nothing. He was literally just sitting still, and that's it. And then someone, take with a grain of salt, because it's TikTok. So the guy himself is probably less than human, just a fucking clout zombie. But a guy was claiming that he sat next to her, and that the guy in the green hoodie was ignoring her. And, like, it was really awkward and weird, and that he was starting to believe that the guy wasn't real too, or something. It's such a rabbit hole of nonsense I can't help but enjoy. Unsurprisingly, there's been a flood of people claiming not only to be on the plane, but also to be the green hoodie guy. There was a very popular TikTok video that's come out now from a guy claiming to be the green hoodie guy. And it's all baloney. As far as I've been able to find, the woman in the video hasn't come forward with any additional information, nor anyone actually associated with her or around her on the flight or anything like that. All these videos popping up of people pretending that they were a passenger on the plane and giving their insight into the situation, or the people claiming to be the subject that she's speaking on, are all just lying for the sake of some internet updoots. Those are the fake people. Those are like actually fake people. They're not real motherfuckers at all. They are just clout-obsessed, attention-fucking desperate people that are just trying to capitalize off the viral sensation of this story. I'd love to hear more from her, though. I'm surprised that she hasn't given, like, an interview or something to explain her position. Because she had the whole crowd, the whole plane as a captivated audience here. The entire crowd turned around to look. Like, this is straight out of a movie.
It's not real. And you can...
Everyone fucking turns around to see who she's pointing at. This man's standing up here like, what, me? I'm catching a stray back here? It's just like a perfect disaster. Oh, everyone, yeah, I don't blame them. I'd turn around too. Everyone did. For good reason. You telling me someone's not real on this plane? I want to check it out. I'm expecting to turn around and see a fucking android or something. Some kind of mannequin. Or like that guy from Men in Black, the cockroach guy. Need sugar water. People in the comments were saying she was drunk and meant the flight attendant wasn't a real flight attendant, accusing him of stealing her AirPods. I saw that, but I mean, there's no evidence to back that up, and that doesn't make me laugh nearly as hard as all the people talking about how she's going on about, like, some kind of demon on the plane. I saw something really fucking cool from this morning on Twitter. There was this big document that was being shared around Twitter as proof that this lady was onto something. Like, she was, you know, galaxy brain, seeing through the nefarious evil plot from the government, and they were sharing this top secret classified document that was going over an experiment they were conducting, where they were placing fake people on board these planes to fool the general populace just to see if they could, like, slip one in on us. So it was this document that was typed up, and it was, you know, subject, imaginary man, location, flight, whatever, plane to Orlando. And then it went into detail on what was going to go on. And they're like, look, see, this is hard evidence right here that she was onto it. She was privy to the scam. It was the government, the puppet master the whole time. And then an hour later, the guy who initially posted that it began circulating from came forward and said that he felt really bad because he made it himself because he thought it was fun as a creative writing piece for, like, SCP, basically. He wrote just SCP fanfic around this, and a lot of people went wild, assuming that it was real, because they don't do any level of research on their own or have any level of rational thought. It's just this desperate desire to feel special and smarter than everyone else. So they'll just accept the most impossible reality imaginable and just live in fantasy world and run with that narrative. And we were actually blessed with a double whammy here. There was another incident that continued to fan the flames of fake people on airlines, because there was another freakout that happened within the same 24-hour period where a man got really upset at whoever he was sitting next to, so much so that he tried to like charge off the plane and like get out of there as soon as possible. Now this one, from everything I've read, the guy was actually on drugs. Like, he came from, I think it was a music festival or something. And when you watch the video, it's pretty clear that he is not in his right mind. He's fucking tweaking hard. And yet people still, legitimately, still are claiming, like, look, it's happening all over the world. You can't explain this. Why are so many people getting so upset at random passengers on their flights? It must be fake motherfuckers or reptilians. Clearly, these are the only two options.
Look at everyone filming, man. What's wrong? Yo.
The passengers were actually very quick to stop this. He was charging the door to try and open it during takeoff, and they dogpiled on this man like they were trying to recover a fumble in the Super Bowl. So, fast action from the other passengers on board the flight. But yeah, people are once again claiming that this is further evidence that something real evil is happening aboard these flights with passengers that aren't actually humans. And like I've said, it's been extremely entertaining watching all of these outrageous theories unfold so far, so I'm excited to continue reading more evidence from them about all of this. That's really about it. So yeah. Not long ago, there was that viral freakout on the airplane with the lady claiming that a passenger on board was not real. It was a huge meltdown and it really caught the internet by storm. It was a wild situation that had everyone confused and giggling, but it also really tickled the curiosity bone of a lot of unhinged lunatics. I don't know how better to say that. I can't be more charitable than that. There were so many people that started to speculate that she was onto something. This was all a ploy from the deep state with their 15-minute city agenda where they're sneaking robot, android, soulless husks disguised as people on our airline flights. And only this woman was able to see behind the curtain for the truth of the matter, calling out a fake person. And it was just this crazy conspiracy web about how, like, she's actually correct, there are fake people on these planes and she's onto something. And then they even started making up their own fanfic about how she's missing. The government must have found her, tracked her down, taken her out behind the barn and put her down like a sick animal. Like, just executed her for revealing the truth and opening her third eye with the Sharingan. Just pure pandemonium. This opened Pandora's box of mental illness on Twitter in particular. But I'm happy to say we finally have closure. She was never missing. She's been totally fine, just a little embarrassed about the situation, and today released an apology video. That's right, an apology video. Not only that, but body cam footage of her escort out of the airport also dropped, so we really got the whole kit and caboodle on this case here. In the footage, she seems drunk, a bit belligerent, but that's not 100% confirmed. I wasn't there. I didn't run a fucking toxicology report or breathalyze her or have her walk a straight line or anything like that. But that's how it seems. Just using my astute little peepers here, that's the impression I get, is she may have been hitting the alcohol a little hard before going on the flight, which would help explain the outburst. So, I want to show you a little bit of both of these things, and also what sparked this whole incident was allegedly she had misplaced her AirPods, she lost them, and accused a fellow passenger of stealing them. So, she just started pointing the finger like, this nefarious, no good pile of shit just stole my AirPods, so he's not real, that motherfucker's not real. That's what started all of this, I guess. Anyway, let's check out the body cam footage and then we'll see the apology video. Also, what an incredible year for apology videos. This is like the 1,000th one that's dropped this year. If apology videos were a renewable energy source, we would be able to power the entire fucking globe from just this year's load of apology videos alone.
I don't care if I'm ever fly with y'all ever again. I want to know what happens to this flight right here.
Hey, this is the after-action post-game report. It's me from the future. I'll go ahead and tell you what happened to that flight. It had a completely safe, uneventful, scheduled flight and landed at its destination A-OK. Despite what a couple of weirdos on Twitter were trying to circulate, the plane was totally fine. Nothing happened on the flight, aside from her getting escorted off and causing a major delay and a headache for all the passengers on board. It was totally fine. Like, everything turned out okay. It's not like she was some kind of prophet who predicted that the plane would have a problem.
Let that flight leave. Do not let that flight leave. Being dead serious. Do not let that flight leave. That flight's not going to make it to Orlando.
Let's go.
It's not going to. Can I just leave? You don't need to escort me out.
Yeah.
Can I just
You had your own warning. So, keep walking.
Oh yeah, until y'all see that fight blow up.
Okay.
It's clear she's very distressed, and it's also very clear that this is not a moment she's proud of. She made that much clear in her apology video as well. This is one of those very unfortunate things that was captured on camera, and we don't know exactly the cause, whether it was alcohol related or something else, but it is I do feel bad for her. In the modern age, everything gets filmed, so you're always going to see someone's lowest moment if it happens in public. That's just the way the world works now. And I was thinking about this when watching her apology video. I have a phobia of flying. If I happened to be in the airport, or heaven forbid, on the aircraft when this happened, I probably would have had an even larger outburst and freakout that would have eclipsed hers. I would have stole the spotlight because I would have been fucking losing my mind. If this lady stood up and started saying the plane's going down, that motherfucker's not real, all rational thoughts going out my noodle. I'm waving my arms around, I'm fucking screaming. I'm gonna sound like Donnie out of the Wild Thornberrys. Like just begging to get off of the plane. But anyway, let me show you her apology video. But before getting into it, I want to mention something. A lot of people, I guess, either recognized her or found information about her. Well, I'm guessing found information about her because she mentions that it was pretty invasive how people, like, got a hold of her information. People figured out that she's a marketing executive. So there was another narrative that spun like a week or two ago about how this whole thing was actually just a publicity stunt. And I just want to knock on your empty little noggin here and try and figure out how you could ever run with such a delusional idea. This is a horrible publicity stunt. That wouldn't do any good for her or her company. She's not advertising anything. She's not putting a product out there in front of people's eyes. This is pretty clearly not an attention-seeking publicity stunt for her marketing company. Like, I don't know how anyone would even think for a second that that's a plausible explanation. Just sit down for a moment, really just marinate in your swamp ass and form an individual thought. Why would this be a publicity stunt? Like, damn near landing on the no-fly list? For what? There's nothing good that comes out of this for her. So I don't know how anyone thought that somehow we had all been had. They pulled the rug out from under us. They bamboozled us. This was all just a marketing agency's calculated play. Somehow. It's so dumb. So fucking dumb. I wanted to mention that real quick. Anyway, here's her apology video.
As you know, I have been unwilling to speak on the viral video, but I do finally feel that it's time. First and foremost, I want to take full accountability for my actions. They were completely unacceptable. And I want to apologize to everyone on that plane, especially those that had children aboard. Can't imagine going through that and trying to explain to your kid what in the world just happened.
Overall, I think this was a totally fine apology video. It seems like she's very regretful of the whole thing because obviously this was very public. And she just apologizes to everyone involved in the situation. She takes accountability. She seems sincere. I don't have any real criticism or critique of the apology itself. I don't know where I'd put it on the internet apology tier list, but I think overall she did a fine job of coming forward and just being like, yeah, you know, we all have some very bad moments. Unfortunately, mine was very public and captured on camera for the whole world to see in fucking 4K, right? Like, it's just unfortunate circumstances. She also does mention that she found a lot of the memes that spawned from this to be comical, but then also mentions that there was a disturbing invasion of her privacy as well. Understandable to be upset about something like that too, for sure. So it's nice that she did come forward to finally put an end to all of like the conspiracy theories surrounding this situation. She didn't really go into detail on exactly what happened, so even the whole AirPod theory is still I guess, speculation since it didn't come from her in this apology video. But it is nice that she came forward to clear the air a little bit here and hopefully put the kibosh on all these weird conspiracy theories surrounding the situation. It's not like she had to come forward, like obligated to make an internet statement. By no means did she need to do this, but it is appreciated that she did decide to, just to issue some kind of statement on the whole thing since so many people were captivated by it. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over the situation here because now there's some closure to all of it. That's really about it. So yep. Last year I made a lot of videos about Karens, those wild and wacky women that would go out in public and cause a big ruckus over nothing. While most of those women were postmenopausal, I was able to latch on to their titties and milk them a little bit for some content, but unfortunately that well began to run dry. Not that the Karens became an endangered species or self-aware enough to stop doing their stupid shit in public, it's just I lost interest in it. Every single meltdown from these women just became the exact same thing every time. Oh, what's this? Another video of Great Aunt Gertrude screaming about microchips in the gas station hot dogs? Seen fucking 50 of these this week. It just became the same thing. Like, they were all saying and doing the same shit. It reminds me of like in a Madden video game where if you look into the stands, you just see the same fucking NPC spectators looking on and cheering. That's what it felt like watching Karen videos. Just a whole bunch of clones doing the same shit. It was weird. So I stopped doing Karen content, but I'm happy to say a Karen video has surfaced today that is actually pretty interesting and unique. This happened at an airport.
He threw me to the ground! My name is Terry Ann Blues! I'm the manager of the fucking airport here!
That's not
This lady is fuming. She's so mad she just did a full scat, man. Just hit him with a skibbity-dee-dee-boo-bada-bop. Like, I don't know what the fuck she was saying. Who's got hobinin'? It's like some gibberish Adam Sandler would have said in SNL back in the 90s as a joke. But she just couldn't get the words out because she's so fucking angry and heated over something that happened off camera. You'll learn about what happened here in a minute. But I also love the way she announces herself like it's a WWE entrance. My name's Terry Ann Woos, and I'm here at SmackDown vs. Raw 25 to let fucking Hulkmania run wild, brother, at this airport. Let's fucking go.
Who saw him choke me to the ground? Who saw me?
I saw you run through the door when you weren't supposed to.
He
And I saw him
me
push
to
you
the
out
ground!
again.
You deserve
I'm pretty sure you're mistaken.
In its rats!
Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo! You fuck off!
Excuse me?
I want the manager of the airport here!
Mine.
There really is a lot to unpack here. This is the most stereotypical Karen I think you could possibly envision, from the outfit to the statements she makes. She wants the manager of the airport. What are you expecting? Fucking JJ the jet plane to come in here and troubleshoot for you and, ask what's going on? Who do you think the manager of the airport is? It's not fucking Starbucks, like you're not gonna be able to strong-arm your way to speaking to the airport manager. The delusion of these kind of Karens where they think they're always in the right and no matter what, they'll go from like victim to absolute evil supervillain in a second. She tries to like rally the people behind her. Who saw who saw him push me to the ground? Who saw it? Let's rise up, gamers! Who saw it? And then the crowd's just like, it was your fucking fault. You charged into a restricted area and got tackled for it. You brought this upon you. And then people get mad at her like, you deserve it. Fuck you. Boo-hoo. And then she's like, oh, god damn it. No, fuck all of you. Who saw it? We saw it, and it's your fault. No, shut up. You didn't see anything. It's extremely hard to root for the TSA under any circumstances. I don't think in the entire history of the TSA they've ever been viewed positively by anybody. But in this video, they're the clear good guys here. They did that airport a justice by getting her away. So, fuck yeah, I guess. This isn't a very long video or anything, but I did want to talk about it because it just felt good to be home. I've seen it all from Karens until now. This is something different. This is a little more unique. It's goofy. It's wacky. It has everything you would expect from a Karen adventure. And I hadn't seen something like this before. So it was just nice and refreshing to see that the Karens are still out there and they can still surprise us. So that's why I just wanted to talk about it and bring it to your attention. That's about it. See ya.